Testing.
Only the stuff in red. For Church Street, over by the Resource Center. And then all the parking. Stop sign. And the stop signs will give us. You may call it out for parking. Or it may not be in. Well, they keep trying to park on both sides. But those lots are so big. There you go.
Yeah, it's not competing too much, I guess. So. But yeah, no, I was gonna ask you about that. It's supposed to be signed.
Oh, but yeah. How's Randy? Making. Right? Good. Ready for some more mud? Well, a couple of weeks will be. That's what the groundhog said. But you gotta see everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you just gonna say I'm
And either one has, you know, they were fine, but it was perfect. But you know, we were fine. So, excuse me, it's fun. I'm going to go back. He said,
Excellent. Good to see you. You guys have.
That's what
Renner, how you doing? Good. Good, they didn't get put in here, or somebody.
I didn't know if I would have walked that far enough. Gotta cover that face. Yeah. That's your boss, I'm sorry. Okay, ice practitioner. All right, yeah, I was finishing. Good, day one. Day two, got down to the high was -19, real field -42, so the fish kind of shut off and it hit the coast. Fast. No copy was go. And then day two, pianos do it, those part. That's a big job. Fire for that. Me, getting out there, I was thinking. World. Here, the kind of big line straight across all the way down to Ohio. He was in charge of all that. He was an ISP trooper, he was, now they were state trooper. I would be happy to get that. Gathered fire brigades, overlooking the lake.
You just keep your fish.
So up to the ash slot type, 22 to 40 meters. You can't keep them. Got it. I know they're good. Some hits white comes out. As long as you get all that up, yeah, for that reason. Good trip. Like 3 days before the room. I got all home in 2000. Alabama. Yeah. This is 3 days. Walmart was 90 pages small. I don't have, I like to, $5 bill. I use it. But it wasn't far, so I wait for me to go get cash. Out of the office, I was saying, provide that thing for the rate. That was okay. Most people.
Good evening. We're going to call the meeting to order. If you'd stand for the pledge, please. Excuse me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I can do the roll call, I guess. Libby? Here. Ryan?
Here.
Sean?
Here.
Fritz?
Here.
Myself? We have a quorum. There is an addition to the agenda tonight, just we're amending the restating the preferential street schedule and also the no parking schedule. And that's the only change that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's supposed to say no parking instead of ordinance regulating stop signs. I'll make a motion to change tonight's agenda and add the ordinance regulating no parking.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And we need to get some approval for the minutes for January 20th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 20th, 2026.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Old business. Council to consider request to allow chickens at 322 East Delaware Street. Are they here? I don't see, they're there. I'm sorry. Yeah, come on up.
The signatures that we collected, you'll see the fourth signature on that top page. One of our neighbors, we were not able to meet up with in person. I do have an email from her if you would like to see that. Or I can read it out loud, whatever you guys would like.
Looks good. That's great. Yeah. It's always nice just to make sure so we don't find out later that.
Honestly, everybody we talked to, they're like, did somebody complain? We're like, no. The signature is-
Just a technicality. really.
And since we added it to the agenda, it didn't give anybody the opportunity to see that it was going to be on the agenda and show up if they had a problem with
Yeah.
it. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what it.
Is there any public? We're good. So I guess we need a motion to pass their special request.
Yeah, assume everything else is like up to code or everything squared away.
Yeah, we don't have that in front of us again, but they did have it on the other. I don't know why it's not in here, but I probably got it right now. There it is. Yeah, I think you've confirmed all that here in your letter too. Maximum of 8 adult hens, no roosters. Outdoor exercise area must be fenced, must not be located in the front yard. The coop and run for the chickens must not be located in a front yard, must meet minimum setback. Reasonable care of all animals must be afforded in all aspects, including handling, restraining, sheltering, exercise, grooming, nutrition. Clean water must at all times be present, available for the animals. Odors from the animals must not be discernible at any property line. And you guys are on a quarter lot, so you got probably the best location in Timber Ridge to have it because you're backed up to something that, you got a tree line there and you don't have an actual residence backed up to the yard to yard like the others do. So, yeah. Did any of you have any questions for them, concerns that you want to address?
I'll make a motion to approve special request to allow chickens at 322 East Delaware Street.
All in favor? Aye. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, last meeting, I appointed a new member to the BZA, Michael Carpenter, and he is here to introduce himself and let everybody know what his experience is. If you want to come up and give us a little bit of what you do here, like you provided for
I've
us.
been residing in Fortville for approximately 14 years, been in commercial industrial construction for 41 years. So my background is electrical, working for a mechanical, electrical, plumbing controls contractor. Getting kind of old, 64. Looking to do a little serving and maybe a little bit of charity work the older I get.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We appreciate you, wanting to get involved. This is great.
Good.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, appreciate that. Anybody have any questions for him? Okay. So we're now new business. Council will consider amending and restating the preferential street schedule as well as the ordinance regulating no parking. Joe?
No parking. Okay, this is, again, this is something that we do periodically, try to do it every year, but if there's not a lot of growth or movement, we do it every couple of years. This is just an update to our no parking ordinance. The only thing that you're going to see changed from the old ordinance is what I've added in red, which is a buyer's estate. No parking on one side is designated by signage. Those signs are put up by the developers. So as the development is going in, they're installing those signs. And the other one on the front page that I added was Church Street, no parking on the south side between McCarty Street and Veterans Court. It's pretty much no parking now from McCarty Street to Main Street. But as the planning commission, everybody had approved the old Carnegie Library upgrades and widening the walk over there. We found it necessary to eliminate the parking on the south side through there as well. So that was added. And again, feel free to look it over. This is only here for first reading this evening. If you see something that needs to be added or changed, let me know and we can have those corrections made for the next council meeting.
Any motion to approve first reading? Anybody have any questions about this one? I'll make a motion to approve. Which ordinance is this?
2026-2A.
A. Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-2A, amending and restating the town's parking regulations.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next up is the street schedule.
Yeah, the next one is actually, the first one was the no parking ordinance. This is the preferential streets and is also considered the stop sign ordinance. As you'll see in this ordinance, again, this is something that we do periodically as the new developments come in or we annex in property and take the responsibility. Some roads and intersections, you'll see all the red that I've added on here. Column A is the preferential streets. Anything in B will come to a complete stop when it comes up to the street name there in column A. This is, again, I believe, all new subdivisions between Mount Vernon North and Byers Estates. And let's see. B is the intersection. So the two that you see are actually, there's three of them that was added in red for the intersections. Those are intersections where they come to a complete stop. So it could be a three-way or a four-way stop. So those intersections were included as well. And just to be clear, whenever they put stop signs up, they're really not valid unless they've got an ordinance that backs them. So this just cleans it up and makes it legal.
Any questions about this one?
I have
No, everything's good. Is this one 2B then?
Yes.
I'll approve Make a motion to approve first reading of ordinance 2026-2B, amendment to the the preferential street schedule.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that was quick. Not messing around tonight. Okay, next up is the department reports. Joe, do you have anything for
Well,
us?
that was quick. Just a couple of items. I was gonna let you know that Noah Nicholas has been working with us for a little while now. He's resigned about a year ago. He came back. So he's been with us for every bit of probably 6 months or so. Last Friday was his last day again. He decided he's going to be a truck driver. So this is not the job that he wanted to continue on with. But with that, I wanted to introduce you to Justin McCabe, which you just approved for the chickens this evening. We've
Who else is?
we've offered him a position on the street and utility department.
Welcome.
As long as he passes all of his background checks.
Yeah.
so.
Well, he's good with chickens.
That's
He
good.
has no
Good.
ordinance violations as of right now. so.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's all I've got this evening, unless you've got anything for me.
Adam?
The only item I wanted to talk about quickly is Fritz had asked me about this pending House Bill 1001. So this is a proposed state law that really goes into a lot of detail, which in my view is unnecessary, detail on planning and zoning regulations. The state legislators have wanted to try to tackle ways on lowering the cost of housing, which is a understandable goal. This particular bill guts a lot of local control. That's really the most important problem with this is local control, as the state is stepping in and trying to supersede a lot of things like lot sizes, density, setbacks, pretty core planning and development stuff. There's also a lot of regulations on impact fees, how you can use them, where they can be spent, fees, building and development fees, how much those can go up, and the list goes on and on. Design standards. And I think the one silver lining, at least so far, is that there's an opt-out provision, which apparently if the town, if this law goes into effect, if the municipality can actually create an ordinance, local ordinance that opts out of these different provisions, which it would seem like that would be a really good thing to do, because again, it just gives, I think it's always important to have local control on these planning and zoning matters. So right now the bill is with the Senate, and I think they're supposed to take it up here sometime this month, and they seem to be fast tracking it. I can definitely say that pretty much all of the other city planners in Hancock County and town managers are against this bill, especially the way it's written. So I would urge you to contact your local Senator Kreider and others to see if there's any way that the bill can either be modified or, not passed ultimately. But lastly, the House version of the bill was approved like 74-15, so there was pretty overwhelming support for it. But I think again, in my professional judgment, it's one of these things that I think the intentions are good overall in trying to lower the cost of housing, but I don't think this is the way to go about doing it. And I think a lot of others share that sentiment. So we'll see. We do the best we can to get the word out there, but some things are out of our control. So other than that, if you have any questions on anything planning and development related.
I guess what the bill on that, like how is it lowering housing costs through what you were saying?
Well, that's a great question. I think the the thought is that things like aesthetic standards, materials, that those things up the cost of a house. There's a certain level of truth to it, but it's, in my view, blown out of proportion. Is at the end of the day, the decision makers, whether it's plan commission or in many things, ultimately you all, is to decide how our community should look, how it should function. And you should have the ultimate say over that, not a boilerplate standard based on state law. So, again, in my professional judgment, I was just talking to Joe about this, is I don't know how much it's going to lower the cost. I'm skeptical about it. Maybe it will. I don't think it will, but the other component about it too is then there's reporting requirements, all sorts of reporting. We have to report the number of units and the cost of these homes, how much they are, and whether or not you're meeting the goals of the state. And so, it is what it is. If they end up passing it, we'll obviously follow the law. But just wanted to make you aware.
Is there any negative things to, like, if we opt out of it, is there anything negative that, funding or anything we're going to be missing out on?
I don't think so.
There isn't.
Not
Not
that
when you opt out. The AM is backing this bill too on streamlining the whole process in government, where it goes to the town council, it goes to the planning commission, goes back to the council, goes to zoning. What they're trying to do is streamline a lot of this stuff, so it's not such a back and forth. The process takes forever. There's some give and take in this bill. I suggest that people read it. Michael Carpenter is going to be at the biscuits and gravy breakfast for the Republican Party, I think, this Saturday. If you're interested, you should go. They're probably going to be talking about it that morning. Or you can ask questions to Michael Carpenter because he's going to be voting on it. I don't know what the ticket there's a cost. I don't know what the ticket prices are to go to the breakfast, but it's happening this Saturday.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
It's give and take. When you talk to builders, I can see why they want it, but there again, it infringes on where we want to go with the town and our standards. They're just trying to standardize them, but the problem with that is they're trying to dictate what you're going to have, and by opting out, we still have to be more strict on. We have to spell more stuff out where when we make up zoning, just like when we did this gas station. I mean, if it's in writing, it's there. That's what they're looking for. Also, is something where they let's say they're going to do to all your standards, but then you're asking for more as they go through the process. The planning commission's adding stuff on, the council's adding stuff on, even though it's already spell out what you're in your zoning, what dictates what the house is going to look like, which makes sense.
Okay. He is not here tonight, so nothing from Parks. Patrick?
All right. As most of you know already, Levi was planning on going to go to the Noblesville Fire Department in April. Levi resigned as of January 31st or February 1st. So we're looking to fill that position also. And then the only thing I have is I gave you guys the full annual report as far as the council, which has every detail, every stat made to man. And then I did a public executive summary that I want to go over real brief. Calls for service rose 1.55%. And the reason I don't think it went up as much as I thought it would was because we were down 2 officers all year out with injuries. Got a couple guys always rotating in and out with injuries. So if they were here to put in their stuff and do their job all year, the number would have been increasingly higher. I'm anticipating a 15 to 25% increase for calls for service with all the new neighborhoods going in and being built out. Some of them are halfway done, so we're going to start taking calls in those neighborhoods. Mental health response, we took over 50 mental emotional related calls. But currently every officer I have is CIT trained. So that's a good thing. We got that finished up the end of 2025. Enforcement and arrest trends, about the same. Traffic stops went up, just because we have more roads and there were some road changes and there's some speed limit changes. So 32% increase in traffic stops, which included a 45% increase in traffic warnings. The shocking number to me was the OWI arrests. They went up 226% this year. So I guess the old adage of don't drive through Fortville, a lot of people didn't get the memo if they were drinking and driving. But if you're drinking and driving, don't drive through Fortville. I can tell you, my guys are going to be looking for you and taking you to jail. Adult arrest went up, and that's probably, we got more people in town. We probably made more arrests. Narcotics arrests went up 25%. Good thing is our juvenile arrests decreased by 30%, which I thought was a good thing. Yeah, some of them have grown up and turned into the adult arrests. But I think overall the school has done some things to change how they handle some of the minor things that the kids do at school. So we're not having to go in and interact so much and take care of that. The school has a deferral as far as their first time vaping programs and things like that, whether it be THC or tobacco. So we're working with the school to make sure that, we're just not taking a bunch of kids to jail. We're trying to find programs that are really going to help educate before we have to take action. Use of force, pretty much the same as last year. We had no taser incidents, no canine incidents, or no deadly force incidents. All the incidents were reviewed by state certified instructors and then were found to be justified and policy compliant and well within national standards. Our traffic accidents went up. Of course, that's with, road changes and speed limit changes and things like that. And our additional non-reportable mutual aid responses went up in the local surrounding areas. County cars just don't come up this way. We usually handle anything north over to about 9 because they're busy doing other things. They're just as busy as we are. McCordsville's the same way. So primary causes for all the accidents: distracted driving, unsafe lane movement, following too closely, and failure to yield the right of way. So someone's not stopping at a stop sign or they're not seeing someone coming in the stop sign. There's the data for our specialized teams, which is the SWAT team and the FACT team. Good thing for the SWAT team, 12 call outs, no injuries. We have 3 officers on that team. FACT team, we have 3 officers on that team, responded to 6 fatal accidents, or 6 serious accidents and 4 fatalities. Let's see. I guess the big thing I want to point out with the community engagement is this year, with the public's assistance, we were able to donate $8,800 to farm to help with food during people's times with the EBT issues and some things like that. The community came together and we raised money for our Shop with a Public Safety Officer program. We usually get more than what we spend because I always like to have a couple months or years in reserve that we can continue the program if we don't get any donations. This year, the community really came together and we were able to help out Fortville Area Resource Mission with some food and things that they needed. So our revenue generated was up 15.18%. And those increases were vehicle releases, court docket fees, and incident reports, people wanting copies. And then our goals for 2026, which I talked about the end of 2025, that I want to implement a drone program. And I earmarked the money for that last year that we had left over from that for this year. We are expanding our officer training and evaluations. We're doing some different leadership development. We're going to outfit a new police car. With the growth in the community, my goal is to maintain our response times and maintain our fiscal discipline, and then continue to grow with the community and do our outreach programs the best we can. So if any of you have questions or public has questions, I'm an open book.
The OWI stuff, do you guys ever run checkpoints or anything, or is that just?
We don't, that, it's questionable in some areas. You have to advertise it for so long. You have to have them, let them have an out somewhere. There's so many law specific things to have a checkpoint. To do it, it would take 20 officers, and that would be the whole department to come out and do a checkpoint for one night. These are just officers patrolling, responding to accidents, responding to calls of drunk drivers, things like that. Those officers just out there trying to keep the motoring public safe and get rid of the impairment.
And then what are you hoping to do with the drone program?
We just want to implement one. We don't have one. We earmarked money last year. My goal is to get one outdoor drone that's Indiana Blue Law compliant, and get the officers trained on the FAA Part 107, which is basically their pilot's license. When I went to IACP last year in Colorado, I talked to a lot of the manufacturers and what their thoughts were for this year and the new technology and things like that. The goal is to assist in, finding people that leave the house, children that run away, people that crash into a cornfield that may be injured, scan over ponds, have the thermal capabilities of being able to do that, plus have voice commands for it. So if someone does run from the police, we can put the drone up, find them, keep the community safe in a very quick, efficient manner, instead of calling 30 cops to create a surrounding barrier and then getting the dogs out and doing all that. So that's kind of the goal right now, is just to get that program implemented, get the policies written, get the purchase agreement set up, get it going, and get the officers trained in what they'll need to do.
I got one. During the snow removal this last week, there's a lot of vehicles that aren't plated and expired plates. I think the guys that were plowing did a great job, but I think we probably need to, when the snow melts, we might need to get people hey, you need to either put these vehicles in your backyard or in a
Just start tagging cars.
Yeah, and get them off the streets, because it made a mess for those guys to plow around that. Although there's quite a few. I did not know that there was that many until after the plowing, and then I started looking, and some of them don't even have plates.
Yeah, we did put a PSA, public service announcement, on Facebook, but not everybody has Facebook.
Yeah.
But
I think you just
once
got
the
to
snow
tag 'em.
melts and things are a little bit easier to get to and get around, I'm going to have the guys go out this spring and really start focusing on tagging vehicles that need to be tagged.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, clerk treasurer is not here. Alex, do you have anything for us?
Questions for me?
We might have on that House Bill 101 in the next couple of meetings on that, because I guess it's coming up for vote soon. So
yeah, it's as Adam said, it's over in the Senate. It came out of the House. Pretty strong majority of votes. I just emailed all of you the link to that House bill, so you've got it.
Okay.
Take a look at what they're proposing.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, public comment. We have any public comment? Randy? Step on it.
I apologize about my voice. I've had some recent radiation. So, but anyway, I want to just talk for a couple minutes about the proposed rental ordinance and caps. And so anyway, I'll try to be as quick as I can. I just wanted to remind everybody, you all remember what happened in 2008 with the housing crash. Okay. Hopefully that never happens again, but who knows? And so what we seen was foreclosures double overnight. And then all these folks were displaced. So little guys like me, landlords, we bought a number of these homes. Big institutional investors came in and bought a bunch. I don't necessarily like institutional investors, but credit was so tight, as you know, it almost broke our banking system. But anyway, to try to shorten this story, if we didn't have the ability to do that, we would have been in a bigger mess, because really what happened was all that owner occupied housing was essentially converted to rental housing. And then it was rented to the very people who lost their homes. So that's kind of a big picture. Now, anyone that thinks that can't happen again, I hope you're right. Because, we all seen it coming. You remember, Joe, we knew it was coming. No one knew how deep it was. I mean, it was just, unimaginable. You had, after that annexation, except for a decade, right? So anyway, that's one of my, and I'm kind of a tenant advocate here. You guys know me, and I've been around a long time, and I've tried to keep my stuff affordable as much as I can. And but anyway, so that's on the caps. I just hope I just ask you guys to really look at the data hard. Fishers and Carmel, that's new, hasn't been challenged yet. My money says it'll get challenged, but I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how that's going to shake out. With respect to the permitting and inspections, please just really look at that. It's kind of over the top. I would be willing to work with anyone, specifically Jerry. If I know people, if he needs contact information and I can volunteer time or whatever to help him, I'm good with that. So I wrote you guys all kind of.
We got it. Yeah, we did get it.
But I didn't want to take all your time, and I don't want to now either. So, and I know you'll have to call me at 2 minutes. So, but anyway, I really ask you guys to look hard at the data before we go down that road. And one more thing, just so you guys know, that ordinance is a college. It's for a college town. That's what it originated out of Bloomington. Went to West Lafayette, went to Valpo. I mean, they had some issues, some real issues.
Yeah, and it's just a guideline. It was a place for us to start. So it's got a lot of work to do. Yeah.
So, and they may have needed it.
Yeah.
I think we are a welcoming town here. Still a small, welcoming, family-oriented town. It's overkill, way overkill for us. So anyway, I appreciate it.
Just keep your eye on it, and you can offer your suggestions as we go along through that process, because we'll dissect it, and we'll probably do that several times before we come up with it. So yeah.
Hello, I'm Brad Applegate. I sent you all a letter as well in opposition of this ordinance. And I just wanted you to put a name with a face. I'm not going to go through all the fine points that I put out. And I do appreciate your comment that you guys are still working on this.
Oh, yeah. All of us haven't even read the whole thing yet. We're halfway, I'm halfway through it. So, yeah.
So, that's the key. We just want to be open up, be collaborative, talk about it. If we can be of any help. I've been in this business for 30 years. So, we've seen all kinds of ordinances out there and controls. We get registration. You want to know who to contact. We understand when there's a violation, the landlord's responsible. And you may have difficulty with other landlords if you can't contact them, or you're not getting anything to keep your town beautiful and keep safety in place. So again, I just wanted to come tonight and put a name with a face.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Comments are always good. Anybody else public comment? No? Okay. Libby, do you have anything tonight? Brian?
I do. I just wanted to say that, as far as the plowing goes, I think the town, I can only speak on, what I've seen personally driving around, but I think the town did a great job on the roads. I've been in some other neighborhoods, like my daughter got stuck in Indianapolis today in a neighborhood, so didn't get touched. So yeah, I could say that, we're doing a pretty good job with that. So I'd say thanks to them. I know it was a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
A lot of snow.
I appreciate it. And we had a lot of new guys too, so they're learning. They got a really good learning experience with this big snow. So I'll definitely pass that along. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then on the other note, I'd say us townspeople, us property owners could do a way better job of sidewalks. Just the ones that I saw driving around just on my little road, 40-50% of the sidewalks not done. Still, we're a long time past, and not even the ordinance, just common courtesy. We got postal workers and kids walking to bus stops and, try to keep them out of the roads. So I understand unable, that unable is one thing, but unwilling and, that's a different thing. So I'll just ask property owners to do a little bit better job with that, maybe. That's it.
I'll mirror that about our street guys. They did a great job. And I think our new guys did really good.
They did.
Yeah. They didn't tear up nothing. I didn't see anything that got tore up.
There
So
was a
I
couple
think,
mailboxes.
was there?
but
Well, okay. Well,
They were good about going back and taking care of the problem.
that's
so.
good. They did a great job. And I'm in Indy every day and those roads are not clear. And I drove, Pendleton Pike wasn't even 2 lanes until just at the end of last week. So we definitely outstroked most of the communities around us for sure. So it was really good, really nice. That's all I got.
Yeah, just good job on the roads and that's about it.
Oh, same thing. They did a great job on the roads. I even had all my neighbors put their cars into my parking lot after I plowed, and the town was nice enough to come right back through and plow the street again with no cars, and it made it a lot easier. Thank you.
That does make it a lot easier when people get their cars off the road before the snow. And I appreciate the police department putting that notice out there telling people. Unfortunately, I think sometimes they get that message and they think, oh, if I put my car in the street, then I can block my driveway and they won't fill my driveway up. But it ends up being a lot more snow for them to move in the long run. If they can put their cars in the garage, even if the end of the driveway gets plowed in, don't clean it until we get through with the last swipe. Then what's left there is not near as much to handle. But when they park in the road and then clean their driveway out, it ends up being, they move the snow more than once. Repeated.
I will say the snow was a lot easier to move when it came to moving that got plowed in,
Yeah.
your driveway, because it was so light. You could blow it really easy, but when it gets iced over, it's impossible to move. So there just is really no good resolution to that. I mean, it is what it is.
And that's the reason why we always try to go curb to curb.
Yeah.
Because when you get a lot of snow like that, in a day or two, if it starts to melt or if it freezes and it gets really hard, then you can't move it. And then if we get more snow, you don't have anywhere to put it. So when we're out there, even if it's only 2 inches and we're plowing, we're going curb to curb so we can get it.
That does make a difference for sure. Okay, guess we need a motion to approve and sign vouchers.
And I'll make a motion to approve and sign vouchers.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:09. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for coming.